Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to the video for Monster Hunter Stories 2, and today I want to talk about some of the best monsters for each of the elements. Again, this game is full of so many monsters for you to choose from, and I myself have definitely picked some of the ones that might not be the best, but I have gone with my favourites. However, if you are trying to be super competitive, maybe you want to go into PvP and you want to choose some of the best monsters for those particular elements, then in this video I want to go over our personal top picks. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions, and also let me know what Monsties you are using. So, to begin with, let's start with Nonelemental. We're going to be going with Bloodbath Diablos. Not only is this, of course, one of the coolest types of Diablos, I mean, this is incredibly cool. It's got such a cool design, awesome armor, awesome weapons, but it is also a powerhouse when it comes to the stats. Bloodbath is a great alternative to Nogigante, as it has lower speed, but higher attack and HP. So obviously you've kind of got that nice blend of both damage and survivability. Another huge factor is that Bloodbath is weak to water, which at the moment, strategically, there are not many strong water-type monsters to counter it. Obviously this may well change in the future, but currently water is definitely one of the more underrepresented elements, so you could kind of go as far as say you don't have too many weaknesses. Whereas, of course, other non-elemental options like Nogigante or Silverwind Nagakuga are both weak to thunder, which is much easier to find with some of the monsters we'll speak about later. And of course, if you are running this monster, then attacks like Nogigante's Ruinous Strike is also a good option to put on this because it has higher attack and will of course benefit from the higher critical chance of that move. Then moving on from there to Ice, we are of course talking about Velkhana. Velkhana is our pick for this one, the fastest and best of all the Ice options, but also one of the highest overall stats of all the current Ice options in the game. It has very high attack in combination with good defense. Good HP and high speed is of course a great combo when trying to counter those ice weak thunder type monsters. Velkhana is also, let's be honest, a very cool looking monstie. It can fly, which of course gives you nice exploration options whilst you're exploring the world and trying to sort of farm those dens. And if you want to add some spice to your Velkhana, then using skill seal moves on ice monsters are actually really powerful in PvP, plus they do still hit hard in PvE. Velkhana's innate move Icicle is a great option for this. Then moving on from there to Fire, admittedly, if you guys caught yesterday's video, it does not bring me pleasure to say this, but Teostra is of course the pick when it comes to the best fire monster. I just don't like Teostra, alright? It's just me. I think it's just bad memories from back in the day and Freedom Unite when he used to give me so much trouble, but anyway, if you want a good fire monster, you can't go wrong with Teostra. Dread Queen Rathian is also a solid option, but Teostra's huge attack is not something you can easily overlook. It also has good defense and HP, but it does have lower speed. However, his attack more than makes up for this. Teostra is just a powerhouse. He can deal huge damage and has lots of AoEs that can deal Blast Blight. And of course, if you throw on the old Basilgeuse special, Bombing Raid, it's also a great option for adding a speed AoE move that can also apply Blast Blight. Then next on the list we have Thunder. Kirin, again, another monster that I just hate fighting, but unfortunately it needs to be mentioned because Kirin is of course going to be one of the best choices when it comes to Thunder. I mean, it's fair to say Elders and Deviants, generally speaking, have the highest stats in the game, so no surprise there. But while you do have other options like Thunderlord Zinogre and Astalos, they're both great, Kirin just has more attack and is also incredibly fast. Kirin's defense and HP by default are lower than of course the other available options, but they are still good, and his speed and attack more than makes up for it. One thing to remember is that Kirin is of course weak to fire, so try to avoid those Teostra matchups, but it's also really fun to ride around because you're basically riding on a unicorn. It's also worth mentioning that one of the moves that comes innately on Kirin, Lightning Horn, this is a cheap cost speed attack for medium damage and medium paralysis chance, so it's actually a very nice move. Then moving on from there to speak about water. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning, this is the most underrepresented element because right now there aren't too many super strong water monsters. So until we get something like Soulseer Mizutsune in the DLC, then right now regular Mizutsune is still going to be our best go-to option for water. Shame there's no Namielle. Namielle would be a fantastic addition, but for the time being, you're going to go Mizu. Stat-wise, Mizu's okay across the board with high speed. Not exactly a fair matchup to Elders and Deviants, of course, but it is of course all worth it if you can still finally bring down, say, a Teostra with a Mizu water attack. It's also a really good option to stack evasion genes on Mizu as it's a water type and it benefits from these genes from the bingo bonuses. And Evasion Instinct, which is a serious evasion boost at 50% or lower HP, and Evasion Ability, the option to sometimes evade attacks, are great pairings of passive skills to not get hit. Then finally, to round it out, we have Dragon. The final element, of course, the pick here is going to go to Stygian Zinogre. While it is marginally weaker on attack, defense, and HP than Deviljho, it does have much more speed, which more than makes up for those small stat differences, plus, I mean, he's incredibly cool. He also fills a technical attacker type, which is a lot rarer to find in the higher end monsters. A lot of them kind of tend to default towards power and speed, so it's nice to have a good technical base. Dragon attack types are a little bit more niche, but they are great for going against things like Dread Queen Rathian, Deviljho, or Rathalos. It's also really nice to use Dragon Blaster on Stygians and Ogre, as it's a really good AoE power attack that people don't often expect, and it inflicts crit rate down with a high chance. So, there you have it. There's a little rundown on our personal top picks for the best Monsties within those elements. Again, much like I said at the start, pick whatever you like, run with whatever you want. I still have lots of monsters in my team that might not be the best in their category, but I just use them because I like them. However, if you want to be optimal, if you want to get some of the best, those are the picks. So, hope you guys enjoyed it, and of course, be sure to keep it locked for plenty more. If you want to catch more from us at HyperX Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys TwoSixNine and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch, and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below, and of course, you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.